Welcome back, Mail-In Podcast. Mail-In Podcast listeners, I'm your host, Brett Merriman. To my right, the lovely Sally deFries. New nail color on Sally this week. What up with the pink?
I had these last week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Didn't notice.
You've got a haircut. I did notice that. When did you get that?
I did. I got this on Thursday of last week. It was time to trim it down a little bit.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks clean.
Very clean. It was time.
Did you wash it last night?
I washed it this morning.
Wow. That might be the cleanest I've ever seen Brett's hair. Randy,
Look at
thoughts?
That is true.
Fluffy, poofy.
It's actually
very shampoo, very voluminous.
It is now. It went down a little bit in the rain earlier.
Yeah,
it's a
because
rainy day.
when my hair is so straight.
But it looks good
Just
now.
when it
I know
rains,
that
it's
we're a
toast.
noted don't wash your hair podcast, but I think that there's a lot of arguments to be made about how good your hair feels when it's clean / how much volume you can actually get when it's clean.
When you wash it, I like washing it more when it's shorter, so I get more volume,
Mm-hmm.
and more just my hair looks thicker. When it gets longer, it needs a little bit of wave and texture to it. That's when I wash it less.
Yeah.
So, I did have my hairdresser tell me something though. Well, can I paint a picture for you?
Okay.
Getting my hair cut. Shouts to Lauren at Scissors and Scotch, and
It's called Scissors and Scotch.
yeah,
That is a tragedy.
what?
Are you kidding me?
No,
You didn't know about this? That's where Dave goes, too.
that's where Dave goes.
Scissors and Scotch?
Yeah, there's a full bar. I've never actually had a drink there.
I have never rolled my eyes as hard as I just did. I'm like having a migraine come on, and now I'm going to have a full migraine from rolling my eyes that hard. Sorry, continue.
Shouts to, they do a great job. I love the ladies
Sounds
over
like
at Scissors and Scotch.
Jesus.
They
So
also,
horrible.
it's a haircut, a facial, and a scalp massage all in one. It's fantastic.
Okay.
So
Like sports clips.
yeah, less emphasis on the sports. There's no TVs everywhere. Like ESPN's not on, except in the full bar that they have, which it is on. But
Where's this at? On South Congress?
this is Southwest Parkway. It's right by my place.
Tracks. Okay, continue.
So we kind of finish up.
I
and
can already picture what the decor in this place looks like.
Yeah, like a cigar lounge.
Jesus Christ. Okay,
So
continue.
we finish up, and Lauren's kind of at the styling part of my hair, and she kind of playing with my hair. She's like, "Can I tell you something?" And I was like, "Yeah, just what?" She's like kind of messing around with my hair. She's like, "Your cowlick back here, right?" I was like, "Yeah. I part it the other way," and she's like, "You've been doing your hair wrong your whole life."
Interesting.
And I was like, "Oh, okay. Please indulge me." And she's like, "You've been usually parting it here. Like I've
Uh-huh.
always cut it to part that way, but your hair parts in a totally different spot here on the complete other side of my head." And so now I am
You
forever.
switched your part.
I switched my hair part.
I was going to say it did look different. I've had my barber tell me the same thing,
Yeah.
and I said, I don't care. I'm just going to keep it the way I have it.
I'm like,
You
"Lauren, you've
know-
been cutting my hair for 2 years now. Why am I just here?" She's like, I didn't think you wanted to know. You're so adamant."
Which this actually, I have had this thought with Fritz and Charlie because they both
Mhm.
have cowlicks.
Mm-hmm.
Which way should it go? What side is your cowlick on?
My cowlick is back. My back left.
So, and your part is
So,
now on the left.
My part is now on the left, kind
See,
of in line with my cowlick.
I think both Fritz and Charlie's is on their right, and my part their left, and I think I should be parting it to the right.
think you do that. Just think of it spirals clockwise,
Uh-huh.
and so it's spiraling like this way. There we
Right.
go.
So
Yeah.
you don't want to go against the spiral.
Don't go against the spiral. Yeah.
I think I'm doing it poorly on both of their heads. I have a little bit of a cowlick,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a middle part. So but I am realizing that all of us, Fritz and Charlie, all favor a left side.
Yeah.
But mine probably should also be right. I don't know. I'm
It's crazy stuff. Changed my world.
gonna
Rocked
go and try to switch Fritz and Charlie's hair tonight.
I think you should. You'd be
Well,
like,
they're young enough. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're
Totally.
good.
I mean, for sure, Charlie's young enough.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I'm too
You can
accustomed to it.
switch.
I can't switch.
Where's your part?
Apparently it's on the other side, but to be honest, the biggest thing is like I just use my right hand to do this. So if I have to like right hand that way,
so
it
that's
doesn't
I
work for
usually
me.
I've
I
been a
can't do it
left
with my
hand guy for years, going back towards my left, which is weird because I'm a righty.
So
So now I have to go right hand to floof.
That might be
and
why you have
zhuzh.
more volume too, because normally your hair is used to falling the other way.
She said it's people sometimes go against their part so they have more volume because it like makes sense because it would stick up a little more at the root. But this just looks more natural. So here we are.
I don't even remember your old hair.
Well, it's because I was wearing a hat so much.
Yeah.
Because once it gets long, I have to tame it.
Will needs a haircut too. Fritz got a haircut like last week and he looks like Floyd Christmas. He always does. The first like 3 weeks post haircut, he looks insane. Because little kids, they like they're moving around so much and then they like style it and it is whatever. And then they get out of there, like his neckline's all fucked up. Whatever.
Yeah, they're just because they kind of bop around in the
It's
chair.
it's like a full slanted line on his neck.
Love that.
It's
for
whatever.
Fritz, man.
He doesn't look horrible, but he doesn't look great.
Yeah, he's good until he goes to kindergarten and then he's gotta be fresh.
Yeah.
So my hair journey, Sally, I've now flipped my part.
Cool.
We're going the other way.
I've been a middle part girl for years. I think I might bring back the deep side part.
Deep side part.
Not really. I'm never going to do that. But maybe I'll go back into a side part for a little bit.
I feel like the side part, like deep side part, was very like 2009
Yeah.
coded. Okay. Would you ever go bangs?
No.
Good.
No.
I think I had like short bangs for a little bit because of my postpartum hair loss. Like this, all of this is actually like grown in. This is on my chin.
I remember that.
Watching on YouTube. And literally like a year ago, it was like a centimeter tall, sticking straight up in the middle of my head. That's about the closest I've gotten. And right now it's just like long layers. And I feel like I mess with it too. But like I put it too much behind my ear and stuff. It gets greasy. It's gross.
Okay.
Can I be honest with you for a second right now?
Yeah, hit me.
I'm in a real funk.
Okay.
I'm going to try to not be a bitch this episode like I was last episode.
Okay.
But I think I'm in a weird, I'm reading a book right now that I can't decide if I like or hate, you know?
Okay.
And like, I am not going to not finish it. I'm not going to DNF it. Do not finish. Did not finish. But it's putting me in a weird, like, I don't know. I'm just in a weird funk. I slept 4 hours last night.
Is this,
You're not like looking forward to getting home, having some quiet time, and reading that book because
no. What I want to do is get home and take a muscle relaxer and pass the fuck out.
Oh, okay.
Because my body is like so tense. I barely slept last night. I slept from like 2 to 6, I think, maybe.
Okay,
on and off. Not great. Work is leaving a lot to be desired.
I'll tell you what. Let's chit chat, Sal.
And I can't like fully disclose what's going on, but like there's a chance
violation.
in like 3 weeks that like the outlook of my job is very different.
Okay.
I've considered leaving to be an Instagram wife. Will tells me I can't, unfortunately.
Why don't? Here we go. Let's pivot. Tie this all up in a nice little bow. Why don't you and Will write smut novels under pseudonyms?
This actually brings me to my next point. Someone at work was like, I was talking to them about how Fritz keeps me up at all hours of the night now because he demands that one of us stay in the room with him until he falls asleep and tells him stories. And I'm really bad at it. Like, Will has these whole plot lines and he brings all these people into it and he ties it up all nicely. I'm just like, once upon a time, there was a boy, he wouldn't go to sleep. Like, I'm not creative.
Okay.
And this doctor was like, oh, I use Chat GPT for that. And I was like, what? So I just like typed on my phone, like, unicorns and Power Rangers, moral of the story, listen to your parents, go to bed. And like, I am not kidding. This shit spit out like this fully beautiful tale. And then I realized, like, are people just Chat GPTing novels now? Like, could they possibly do that? Like,
I'm sure people are doing it. I know it's very, very frowned upon within that community. As somebody who's currently writing.
Here's the thing about the book I'm currently reading, to go back to it.
It's like,
smut? Yes.
Okay.
It's too smutty. Like, and to the point where I'm just like,
did we need that egregious sex scene?
Well, I think that's the point of the book. It's a little bit. It's a little. I'm gonna. The reason I'm sad is like it's one of my favorite authors, Sally Hazelwood. I think she lives in Austin. I love her.
Ooh,
and this current book is like, it's not 50 Shades, but it is touching on some of those subjects.
Okay.
And maybe it's not fluffy enough for me. Like I am already in like a weird shitstorm with my life right now with other things going on that I'm like, I need literal Bravo in the form of pages. Like, and this is coming from
Okay.
somebody who does not watch any Bravo. Like, I need dumb shit to happen. Like, I don't want anything real life. Like, I don't want to deal with like daddy issues or like in the book that both of them are student athletes. Like, it's like a full thing. I just am like, it's too real life for me. And
Okay. we gotta hallmark it up a little bit.
A little.
Not simplify the plot, but take the.
And now
Take
I'm
the
just
real
like in
life
this weird
down a bit.
book hangover
Okay.
depression situation, but I like have to finish the book
Okay.
because it's like my favorite author. And then I feel like I'm just doing a disservice, but I'm like 60% in and I'm just like
We gotta bang the last couple out. That's easy. Then we're on
literally
to the next
bang it
I
out.
was gonna say.
one. Oh.
I
Okay.
think. Unfortunately. I don't know. I've never besides some like really horrible mafia like romances, like I've never not finished because of like the amount of sex. Normally
It's
it's like
just too much.
it's like very in your face.
Okay. Okay.
Which part?
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. But it's also it's a lot of sex and it's also a lot of interpersonal drama that I'm like not into right now. I just am like I needed to disconnect.
Okay.
And
I
this is
get it. We need
not
a little
what I
bit more
need.
fluffy, a little less Rihanna.
I don't know. I need like a full if I was somebody who like thought that doing drugs was like cool, and I'm not saying sorry, that's not what I want to say. If I was somebody who could like let go of having control enough to do drugs, I would say like this is the time of my life that like maybe an ayahuasca trip would
Oh, okay.
help me out.
Okay.
But like I will absolutely never be able to do ayahuasca because I cannot give up control.
Interesting. Yeah, that's certainly one you don't want to go
Maybe
in.
that's why you
don't want
need
to try to
do
hang on to
ayahuasca.
control with
Oh, fuck no.
with an
That
ayahuasca
sounds horrible to
situation.
me. Like I can't even literally I drank 2 cans, those like CBD THC
yeah,
drinks at the
okay.
Super Bowl.
Okay.
And I was ungodly high. Like
Really?
I shouldn't even be saying any of this.
No,
Should we cut this part out? Am I allowed to talk about
Yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah.
I was like,
Here you
it's
are.
like literally less than 5 milligrams. And I was like, I sat there and watched the halftime show and Will was like, what is your problem? I kept
Okay.
talking about the visuals. He was making fun of me. I don't know.
Hey, that happens when you
I'm
when you
into-
drink a couple of those. We're just having fun here. That
I
should
think
get you
I need to lay out on the couch and Brett needs to therapize me.
therapize.
Is that a word?
It is now.
Okay. Because something's up.
Okay. Why don't let's channel this.
You know what I think it really was? I think I did concuss myself on Sunday. Playing with
It's a
Charlie.
whole new can of worms.
So many things are happening in my life right now. I was playing with Charlie under our table and he like, cause he had crawled under our dining room table and I was backing out and I like,
sure.
Will was outside with Fritz, hit my head so hard, lost consciousness for like a hot sec and
Oh,
like
no.
was sobbing. Will found me sobbing. I have a huge lump on my head.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I might be concussed. Who knows? This
There's
is the concussion episode. This is
You
my
need-
Michael Jordan flu game.
You need Russell Wilson's his concussion water. You ever see that? It had nanoparticles in it to help your brain heal. Swear
Great.
to God. So, all right. So we'll channel some of this into some writing. You and Will write something up. Built-in
My
audience.
CTE book.
Yeah, you don't have to do that, but
Yeah.
I like this. Where's Randy at right now?
I just read the first question. That's where I'm at right now.
Should we-
I started doing a thing where I actually have the rundown open on my screen, and
And
wow,
you're
Wow.
that's a doozy.
Should we?
Oh Jesus. I haven't even read the rundown.
Well, let's talk about our friends over at Green Chef
Okay.
first. Sally is concussed. She needs something easy, something simple, something straightforward to make for dinner.
Something healthy to provide nutrients to my brain.
Yeah, correct. No more CBD teas. We're talking Green Chef. Our friends over at Green Chef this year ditch the fads and create healthier eating habits that last with real clean foods. Green Chef makes it easy with recipes curated for a variety of lifestyles and dietary needs. With pre-made sauces and pre-portioned ingredients, there's less prep and less mess and more time to savor delicious restaurant quality meals. Set your health goals in motion this year with Green Chef's Reset Collection available for a limited time. Whether you're starting a weight loss journey or just looking to maintain, Green Chef has you covered with a curated assortment of dietitian-approved recipes that offer fiber support and are lower in saturated fat and come in under 700 calories per serving. Should we take a look at the menu real quick, Sal?
Yeah.
Let's see what the weekly menu has over at Green Chef. Some of my favorite stuff. They obviously know, or you guys know, that they give you the tools to be your own boss. So what are we looking with? What's some Italian shrimp and creamy rice?
Ooh.
Some caramelized onion cheeseburgers. You kidding me right now with potato wedgies?
Potato wedgies?
Potato wedgies.
Oh.
Yeah. You got to be careful with potato wedgies though, because you gotta know to soak them in water for a long time. Get the starches out. Finally, some coconut crusted barramundi. You know what barramundi is?
Nope.
It's a fish.
Ah.
And it's coconut crusted.
Oh, I know what coconut
super,
is.
super good. So anyway, that's our friends over at Green Chef. Thrive all year with clean, easy meals from Green Chef. Go to greenchef.com/mail-free and use code mail-free to get started with free salads for 2 months, plus 50% off your first box. Again, that is greenchef.com/mail-free and use code mail-free to get started with free salads in 2 months, for 2 months, plus 50% off your first box. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. You got the first one, Sal?
Yeah. My best friend and I of 18 years started dating our significant others around the same time 2.5 years ago. I got engaged to my now fiance about a month ago. Since then, my best friend has not stopped obsessing over her future wedding. So much so that over the past month, she has booked a wedding venue for this upcoming fall and has already bought a dress. Keep in mind, she is not engaged and her boyfriend has not proposed yet. Am I the asshole for thinking that's a little crazy or am I thinking too much into it?
That is insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are projecting.
Yeah.
She is projecting.
Yeah.
I've never.
The friend's like lost it. I have heard of people like booking venues who knew they were going to get engaged because it was like a venue that like books out like 2 years in
maybe
advance.
fall of 26.
Right. Like,
understood.
And I've never, in the times that I knew it happened, it was like the mom did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
not like,
Shouts to moms.
but you know what I'm saying? Like people do it, but it's more for venues. Like buying a dress is intense. I think this is crazy. She didn't explicitly say this, but I can see her being a little bit annoyed that like she's engaged and her best friend's like basically like walking all over her.
Best friend's like skipping the step and
Right.
just going right to like the fun planning with my bestie phase.
Yeah. I would take it as a compliment like that. Like what you just said, like she just wants to like be in the fun with you.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, do your best to just let it slide. Number one, it's really hard not to, but like try not to get annoyed of like the fact that she's just stepping all over your shit by doing it herself. She probably, one, is jealous and also two, wants to plan with you.
Totally. There's that is 100% right. And 3, I would say like sort of nudging her boyfriend along, being like, yo.
Oh,
let's
I would
hop
say the
on.
opposite. I'm saying like not my circus, not my monkeys. Like I think you just are like, y'all deal with your shit. Like,
I mean, the friend who just bought the dress and booked the wedding venue maybe wants her boyfriend to take the hint.
Right. Oh yeah. I'm saying as this girl, just let your friend fucking self-destruct, in my opinion.
Usually, like, I feel like we've gone from Pinterest boards to like, this is the next step of crazy. It's one thing to plan your wedding online. It's another thing to literally start planning your wedding that doesn't exist yet.
I like the question here because it just, she just wants to know if we think that she's
No.
this place. No, she's not asking us if she
just
needs
says,
to do
"Am I
anything
the
about it."
asshole?
No,
Yeah.
no, you're in the right. Though, of course, as her best friend, you might know more clarity. Have they already gone like ring shopping and you know he's about to propose? Or if this is just completely out of the blue, then yeah, then she's definitely totally crazy.
Fair. Randy, this is like me having a bachelor party for being single.
Yeah.
You want to come on that?
Yeah. I mean, that's just a boys trip.
I mean, the other thing here that the best friend's not understanding is like, I would say if you asked brides who are more than a month into wedding planning, who have to do more than pick the venue and the dress, how's wedding planning going? Do you like it? 99% of them would be like, I fucking hate it. I hate it.
Doesn't like booking a wedding venue usually involve like a significant deposit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if I'm this girl's boyfriend, I find out that she like booked a venue and like bought a dress ready and
for this fall.
Yeah,
not 26, not 27.
Maybe I was thinking about proposing to her in the fall, like going on a trip. Like
yeah, chop chop.
I think it's just
buddy.
This girl thought like, oh, you got engaged. We started dating around the same time. My engagement's right around the corner. That's what she's thinking.
I think the poor girl that wrote in wants probably like to have a little bit of fun in the first steps of wedding planning, which is the fun part before you get into the thick of it. And her crazy friend is stepping all over her and being like, well, let's talk about my wedding. She's like, it doesn't exist, bitch.
I mean, okay, this is all going to come to a halt though, because like literally those are the only two things you can really do without like fully having to go full bore with like asking people to be in your wedding, making like real aggressive decisions about what people are wearing and like putting deposits down for everything. Yeah. So like, I do think that after buying a dress and getting a deposit down on a place, like she's either going to get engaged and like force a wedding and get engaged that way, or she's going to have to stop because can you imagine getting asked to be in a wedding by somebody who hasn't been proposed to? I'd be like,
no, that's
honey,
fucking insane.
Let's take a step back first.
This would make like all of a sudden there's a date now, right? Set presumably with this venue. I guess the one thing you got out of is you didn't have to go like to the dress shopping, like champagne party thing. Okay. You also.
Do you have, if you're this girl who wrote in, do you have your wedding before or after her?
Before or after the one that doesn't exist yet?
Yeah.
I think
that's a quick turnaround usually, right?
Yeah, it's pretty quick. If you just got engaged a couple months ago.
People are kind of anti like the long engagement now, I guess. I don't know.
But it's hard to plan a wedding like that quick.
I agree. I'm like, if I propose today to somebody, I'm thinking 2026 is like my radar.
And low key, I don't want to be this person, but people kind of resent fall weddings. There's just too much going on.
But they're so fun.
They're fun, but like,
and if
you got to really have, I mean, we've answered so many of these questions. Mm-hmm. Your friend group has to be very much all in the same like college situation where you can pick it during somebody's buy game because like, if I have to come to your wedding and like it's Texas OU weekend, like I'm just like not gonna go.
Yeah. Or you just say, whatever, the game's gonna be on. Don't worry about the games. They'll be on. Here's the invitation. Yada yada. I don't know. I wouldn't. Yeah, if I got married in the fall, I'd be like, the TVs are right there because I want to watch too. But
we know I'm a winter spring wedding girl myself. My anniversary is next week.
Shouts.
5 years.
5 years. Good for you guys.
I don't think Will's gotten me anything. And newsflash, I have not gotten him anything either. So
let's do the next one. Hey guys, I have a big issue that I need guidance and perspective on. Well, you came to the right place, Randy. I've been dating my girlfriend for a little over a year now, and I've come to the realization that I'm not romantically interested in her anymore. She's an amazing person, and I love her dearly, but I feel like our relationship developed into a friendship. How do I go about ending things? I know Sally preaches honesty, but saying, quote, I'm no longer sexually attracted to you feels a little harsh. Do I even need to explain myself, or is it better to give someone reasoning for closure? I have to do it soon because she can sense something is up. She called me out for not reciprocating her advances a few times in the past month. Please help. It is time to have the conversation that nobody likes to have, and that's saying, I don't see a future with you.
Do you tell her that you're not attracted to her anymore?
No, I think you leave out like the I am not sexually attracted to you part, and you can chalk that up to being like, hey, I've had a lot on my mind because I don't see this going to the next step. So you don't have to literally say I'm not sexually attracted to you anymore. You can say I feel like we've gotten more friends than romantically involved. I feel like we are better off as friends, or obviously it's not going to continue in the same way, but it's time obviously for the conversation, and you want to give her more reasoning than just being like, I don't know, I'm not in love with you anymore.
Yeah,
Gotta give her something to chew on.
I think there's a degree of honesty that needs to be given.
Absolutely. But you don't have to point out every little single thing.
Right. There's like the end of the spectrum where you call somebody like completely repugnant. Like, you don't need to do that. You also don't need to be so vague that you're like, it's not you, it's me. Like,
also correct.
I think being honest and saying like, I don't see us in the future, and also giving probably like, I think our relationship has turned more into a friendship, because that is true.
Yeah.
Without being like cutting and horrible to somebody. And most people are going to like understand that, like, saying our relationship is more of a friendship than romantic in my eyes sends a pretty clear message that like, we are not compatible on that level anymore, in my opinion.
Totally. And I don't think I mean, if you can leave the door open if you want to, maybe space solves things or reignites something, but it's hard to turn the fireplace back on. And you can explain that, or you can be like, maybe you have deeper feelings that you aren't saying to us, like that you want the grass is greener somewhere else, or
right.
You have the career or financially or whatever it might be. Maybe explain that to her, and if you have reasons that you didn't explain here, but giving her more than just it's not you, it's me, probably a good idea.
Yeah. I think explaining that your relationship has gone from romantic to friendship is enough explanation.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully somebody with like just a molecule of like sense would understand it.
Yeah. It's
saying that you're like just feeling friends is, you friend zoned her. Right? Like that.
You are
that's
in
inherently,
theory,
I'm not attracted to you.
friend zoning your girlfriend of a year. Yeah. Yeah. But it's it's not, that happens.
Yeah.
It's not like people are going to stay white hot for 20 years, but.
According to my book, they do.
But yeah, it's time for the conversation. Understand it's hard, and maybe don't be like, I don't know, just do it in a place where both of you are comfortable. And if you need to slow play it to land the plane, fine. You don't need to do it all in like one night. I'm moving out. I hate you. I'm leaving, whatever.
No,
but
I disagree with you. I think you ripped the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
I agree. You ripped the Band-Aid, but I'm saying like, if you need to,
well, you're not like
continue to communicate.
I'm not attracted to you, and I'm also moving out. Like, obviously that all happens like that.
Yeah. I know.
But I am of the, he basically calls me out and says that I am for honesty, which is true, but I would say I would be blunt to the point where there's no
closing the door
question.
Yeah, you're closing the door, but you're not.
But you can do it kindly.
You can't.
You're not slamming the door. You're
shutting it firmly.
Yes.
But maybe slowly, but firmly.
Preach.
Great. Hey, gang. I have 2 weddings for 2 close college friends back to back this spring. I think they're about a month apart. I'm a single gal paying for it solo, and with flights and hotels, it will cost $900 to $1,000 bare minimum to fly and stay for each wedding weekend, 2 nights max. I am in one of the weddings and have already spent money on the dress and bachelorette party and such. Am I still expected to give a gift? I feel like it's a mixed bag of expectations here, so wanted your take. I don't want to be tacky, but I'm spread so super thin right now. I also have a work trip in the mix that I need to wait like a month to get the expenses paid back on. Thanks.
Okay, solution.
Welcome to 25.
Randy is going to go to the first one with you.
No.
Split the costs. I will go to the second one with you. Split the costs. So you take care of that. You have 2 dates. Boom, boom. Or I'm going to do Sally here. Give yourself a little grace. And 1, you have a year-ish to get a wedding gift. 2, I think people will understand if you're going to like a destination wedding, that's part of the gift. Like the couple is going to understand that that's part of the gift giving is
Mhm.
going well out of your way to fly somewhere and get a nice hotel or whatever it might be. Um, and then 3, you can straight up communicate with the bride/groom and be like, "Hey, spread pretty thin. Have this wedding, that wedding, work trip. Definitely gonna come support you guys. Does a card suffice for now? And can we figure something out down the line?"
Yeah.
I don't think you even need to explain yourself. Just like,
Right.
"Hey,
As someone
here's
that
where
has
I'm
to
at."
travel to when money was tight, like I think that's the best way to do it. Say like, "Hey, I'll get you a gift later." Like it just might take a while because I'm thin. And there's always the option that they go like, "Oh, don't even worry about it. We're just happy that you're flying in."
Right.
Like,
Yeah. You're making the effort to go.
Yeah.
You're spending $1,000 on each wedding. That's part of the gift giving experience.
Yeah.
And the $50 in cash, anyways. I don't think they're gonna miss it.
Yeah, because whenever I come in a wedding, like people are like, "Oh, I'm so glad you could fly and make it." And I'm like, I wasn't gonna miss it, but I guess to you, this does seem like
Yeah.
a big gesture when I just know that I'm coming in
That
regardless.
was me in 2022 when I put up 12 weddings. It was just like,
I think
sorry, folks.
I
Hearts
think
closed.
friends, at least how I felt. I mean, well, that's false. We didn't have any wedding gifts, but I would say if I were the bride, I think most people who are getting married are like assuming that the people who are going to get them gifts are like parents' friends,
Yeah, I think that
or
you
people
don't
who
wanna
like
have a
can't go to the
full,
wedding, so they send a gift.
100% assumption on
I
gift
would
giving.
never assume my friends are going to like give us a gift.
Oh, really?
Yeah. People did. And honestly, by the
Mhm.
time Will and I got married, people were just Venmoing us, which was fucking
Yeah.
awesome. But like, first of all, if you're in the wedding, / even if you're not in the wedding, at this age, which I'm going to assume is in your mid 20s, please never ever spend more than $50 on a gift. Ever.
Yeah,
like,
you don't need to go.
You don't.
You don't need to be.
You are not made of money.
So and so. Yeah.
Like, and exactly what you just said, you're already spending $1,000 on them. Your presence is a present. But another way to do this, if you are feeling pretty self-conscious about it,
Mhm.
is like you said, you have a year to give a gift. I mean, I think people forget that because like no one's trying to like
I feel like gone are the days anyway of like the
Bringing
wedding
a
gift,
present.
like the table of wedding gifts.
correct.
Yeah.
So here's a few options. If you feel like really anxious about it, number 1, go in on a gift with a friend. Okay.
I like that.
Like
Myself and Randy, who are
Get
your wedding
them-
dates.
a set of salad, spoon, and fork, like servers, tongs, whatever I'm trying to
What about
say.
a pizza stone?
You know what I'm talking about.
an engraved pizza stone.
Or not even engraved. Not even engraved. Just a $40 pizza stone from Williams Sonoma. Who
Mm-hmm.
cares? Going on it together. Because like, what are they going to be like? Sarah spent $1,000 to my wedding and only got me a pizza stone. Like, no one's going to do that. And if they do, they're a psychopath.
Mhm.
Number 2, a lot of people are doing honeymoon funds. Okay.
Yeah.
And in my knowledge, I'm pretty sure it's anonymous what you give. So
I also think, correct me if I'm wrong.
like, give
newly
$10
married,
and just like move on.
newlyweds in their mid 20s. I think cash goes longer than the Williams Sonoma pizza stone. Like people want to. They're like, hey,
I mean, when people Venmo'd us, I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you need to, in 6 months, Venmo them and be like, happy wedding. Sorry I never got you a gift, because you're
There-
still
yeah.
like under the,
you're under the time limit.
and then also depending on how close you are with them, I just be like, hey, I
stretch-
really care about you a lot. I am going to get you a gift at some point.
Mhm.
It ain't going to be right now because I'm paycheck to paycheck right now going to weddings and this work trip. But the
Bingo.
second I get reimbursed for my work trip, you have a pizza stone coming your way.
Amen. Or what about an aura frame
Actually,
filled with pictures from the
this
wedding?
is, and it's like right in our price range of what I just said.
Perfect. I think we all know somebody who loves taking photos at weddings. Photo booths at weddings have become the new donut wall. I guess they were always there. I think donut walls are the new.
No, but here's the thing about weddings. You pay for all these pictures, and then no one in their right mind at this time in 2025 is even making like
A
the
Facebook-
photo books
yeah.
anymore.
Oh no!
I mean, my parents had the full blown like printed out pictures in the plastic cellophane like album
Mhm.
of their wedding photos, and then like a nice one from the photographer. Then people did the like, whatever it was, book on your coffee table. Again, that takes a lot of work. And no
And
one's
it's
like looking
expensive.
through those, and it's expensive. But you know what's really annoying? Paying thousands and thousands of dollars to a wedding photographer and then never seeing the photos because you only printed one of them and it's hanging. Like,
So why not get
Why
something
not
that
show all
cycles
of them?
through all of them, huh? How about an Aura frame, the #1 digital picture frame by Wirecutter, and for good reason. It's so easy to set up, and they have different frame options. Sally, I know you you have a couple of these.
I have a couple, and like low key, if the girl from the last question messages me, I will send you an Aura frame to give your friend.
Absolutely. Randy, I know you are a fan of giving Aura frames as gifts.
They are fantastic.
If I had-
Fantastic. Yes, I have one in my own family room.
Look
living
at
room
you.
now. Yes.
If I had parents to give to, I would give them an Aura frame because they would love to look at digital photos like my grandma does, who currently is the proud owner of an Aura frame, and I love uploading pictures from my travels and all kinds of stuff to her.
This is my new wedding gift, but actually,
Mhm.
grandparents, new grandparents, like
Oh yeah. So
that
you
don't
have to,
live next to you, so they can like see your baby constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you don't have
check.
to load up the group text with baby pics.
Valentine's Day, anyone?
Mm-hmm. How about that? The
Mother's Day coming up. If you really want to get on your game,
Mother-in-law's Day.
is that a day?
I don't know. It should be. Just all the MILs out there. Getting Aura frames. The best part is that it comes with unlimited storage. All you need is the free Aura app and a Wi-Fi connection, and you can upload as many photos as you want year-round. Right now, save on the perfect gift that keeps on giving by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $20 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with code MAILIN. That's AURA. Frames.com, promo code MAILIN. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply. Here we go. My turn. Hello. Hi. I've been in my current job for over 3.5 years, and there doesn't seem to be any more growth in the position. I work in a large industry and have been interviewing for other positions, but have not had any success. I've probably had 15 plus interviews with hiring managers in the last 2 years. I'm getting frustrated. I think the interviews go well, but I never get offers. I have over 8 years in the field, and I'm very good at my job. I don't know what to do. I'm getting very bored, very frustrated. I'm thinking about getting an MBA, doing more certifications, or changing fields entirely. I see so many of my friends excelling in their careers, and I feel like I'm falling behind and stuck. Well, welcome to your mid to late 20s.
Quarter life crisis, baby. Okay, it's really hard for me to like. I am not a corporate girly. We know this. And as someone who
No pantsuit for Sally?
no, I'm currently wearing scrubs. As someone who really likes their job, but as I said at the beginning of this episode, doesn't know what the landscape of my job is going to look like in the next 3 weeks / 3 years. It's never too late to change what you're doing, in my opinion.
Truer words have never been
really
spoken.
scary. I have a hard time grasping how this person feels like they're good at their job, but they also are interviewing for positions. Like, are they saying there's no growth in like the field they're in, or no growth at their specific company?
It seems to be more about the specific company they're in. Like they've kind of matched out their ceiling at whatever level they're at, or the promotion is so far-fetched, or their boss is so like, or their boss or their whatever the next level is, there's some sort of hindrance to getting there, whether
Yeah.
it's a person in charge or whether it's a certain like certification you need or whatever it might be. So now they're obviously looking elsewhere, also with like the boredom and what's the word? Just the boring nature of what they've been doing.
Monotony.
The monotony, that's what I was looking for, of their current position. Or
So-
it's too routine. And also, they mentioned their friends, like comparison is obviously the thief of joy. And so that's playing a role. So now it's just kind of like, what am I doing? I'm trying for stuff. I don't really need a new job, but I want something new. Do I want to change entirely? Do I need a new cert? It just feels like it's time to do versus sort of wallowing in this, I don't know, kind of whatever you're doing,
Mhm.
whether that is jumping and getting the MBA. I don't think you get the MBA as like, I should do this, so might as well, because it's really fucking expensive and it's hard to study for. And I think you should only do that if you really, really want it for some sort of reason or goal. Same thing goes with certifications. All these things are expensive and time consuming. So don't just get something to get something and then figure it out from there. Have a goal in mind in order to like get your series 7 or 33 or whatever it might be. So that being said, it's also time to do like set your course. Don't just kind of like half-ass.
Like,
Should I do
waffle
that? Should
around
I do
about
that?
it.
Should I kind of keep sort of interviewing, but not really like putting all of my effort into it? It's time to pick a lane, and whether that's say buckling down at your current job or talking to your superiors about what your future looks like. Maybe they have an idea for you that's actually proposes advancement, and you're like, oh, I just never really talked to them about that. So pick a lane and really dive into whatever that might be, versus having 9 different options in your head and kind of like, dilly dallying on all 9 of them.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
I think for me, again, like I was saying, it's like I can't really tell what the motivation is here.
Mhm.
If it's because you feel like you need to be climbing the corporate ladder or you want more money, I don't know that that's like, I mean, obviously those things are motivating factors for a promotion, a new role, etc.
Mhm.
But that money and the pat on the back from your friends for getting a promotion, that fades usually
In
within
about
like,
an hour.
well, the money for
The-
sure
well, the
fades
money-
within
but
like
the pat on the back.
basically two cycles of paychecks
Yeah.
because then you're used to the same, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
But if you're bored, if you're like, I have maxed out like my responsibilities, I know how to do everything here, I'm not challenged anymore, that to me sends a different message. And that I think is a way better motivator for exactly what you said, getting more certifications or your MBA. I also feel the same way about grad school that you said, like, please don't go to grad school,
to check
whether
a box
it's
or something
MBA,
like that.
law school, etc., because you're like, oh, like I don't know what else I'm going to do, so I'm just going to like get my MBA. But if that is going to further your career or like open up a new option, and then take it. But don't just do it because it's like you're bored and you have nothing else to do and it seemed like a good idea. Because let me just tell you, when you're in grad school and you're accruing just insane amounts of debt and working your ass off, you have to have a stronger why than like, oh, it just felt like that was the next step was more school.
Mhm.
Which is why I like see people fail at grad school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like you
'cause
have to have a
people's
good why.
Why is just like checking a box, and then you don't care enough, then you don't excel in grad school, and then you fail out, or it's just really expensive, or it takes longer because of course it's just like, well, I don't want to do that,
Right.
and then you set yourself back even further
Uh-huh.
unless you have this really dedicated reason for going. Like, oh, it's going to get me to this level that I need to get this certification or this amount of money from this position, or this firm is only hiring directors with an MBA.
Yeah.
So that's literally a prerequisite that I need to go get.
Right. I think this is, again, we say this all the time, like feel now it sucks to be going through this and that's really frustrating to like feel like you're treading water and you're stuck, but also know that you're in the middle of a quarter life crisis and many people are feeling the same way.
I think we can all speak for this, going through pretty significant career path changes, and
Yeah.
Sally ripped the grad school button. I did move my life across the country for a startup, and so did Randy, kind of.
And we're all going to
I took a leave without even
be
a job.
talking about this a year from now when I'm a smut novelist, just
Mhm.
totally left my job
Yeah.
in medicine.
Right. Bored, frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a third option I'll throw in here too. It's like if this is a safe job and you feel good, like maybe there's something that is a little risky and like a side hustle you want to try, and maybe that's a fulfilling thing, and you could have like a second income thing if it goes well, like start an Etsy store, doing something else. But like that's just an option if you think like there's
I
something
love
more
that.
additional.
Yeah, if you have something you're truly
Pick up like
passionate
a
about.
hobby that you actually really like and like can spend, like people take for granted because so much of our life is geared towards work and like that's how society has molded us to be, is that like
Mhm.
our jobs are the most important thing and our success is all dependent on what our success is at work. Whereas like I would argue that some of the most fulfilling times in your life are not at work. So if you are happy-ish in your role and you're making good money and you're like, whatever, I'm fine and this is safe, then like become a fly fisher or like do crochet or start traveling more or do whatever it is that you do out of work that like gives you joy besides work.
Yeah, ignite something. And whatever it is you're passionate about, whether maybe it's writing, like Sally said, maybe it's tying flies and
Like maybe
whatever
we
it
should be
might
working
be.
for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Yeah.
don't all have to enjoy what we do 24/7. Like I love what I do a lot of the time. And then there are days like today where I literally despise it
Mhm.
or despise not even what I'm doing, but like the grind around it. And
Yeah.
if we were all just like happy, like psychos the whole time, just like loving what we were doing, then they're like, that wouldn't bring us joy in any other aspect of our lives. Like sometimes it's okay to just like hate your job, but you
Yeah,
do it as a means to an end to like do other cool shit.
correct. Turn that 5 to 9 into a 9 to 5. Like a
Yeah.
hobby into a
Oh shit! I just dropped my phone. Hold on.
You do that, I'll take the next one, Sal. Hey, Mail-In Crew. My girlfriend and I have been talking about getting engaged soon. We've been looking at rings. Congratulations. We've talked about a budget for the ring and have blown the fuck past that. I want to save more, so we'll have more money for the wedding, honeymoon, and a house. She says that the ring is forever and shows how much I love her. ... We won't get much financial support from our families for the wedding and don't want to go into debt for all of this. We both have well-established jobs and are in our 30s. I'm not trying to go cheap on the ring at all. I don't want something that is going to be a financial burden. But she's talked about a 3 to 4 carat natural diamond. Seriously, are you out of your mind? She struggles to help out with the groceries. I pay our rent, and she makes more money than me and has no savings. I'm starting to worry that these are all major red flags I've been ignoring. I need help. I've spoken with her about finances, but her suggestion is that I myself need to make more money. Oh boy.
Okay, two things are at play here. Number one,
Comparison?
comparison is the thief of joy. She is probably watching people either she knows or follows on
She's on Ring
Instagram.
Talk.
She's on Ring Talk, and she thinks that this is the norm.
Yeah.
Number one, that is one part of what's in play here. Number two is that she is likely not financially responsible, which is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am just here to say, not everyone had all their ducks in a row.
Also, I was just saying, I think it's less or more common than I think people let on.
Right. Not everyone had their ducks in a row before they got married. So those two things are warring with each other
Mhm.
and creating this monster. I don't think this is like a red flag, don't marry her situation, but this is something that must be addressed before you get married.
Yeah.
Because this is only going to compound into a way more volatile situation.
Let's go over budget on the house. Let's go over budget
Almost
on the
immediately.
vacations. Let's go, yeah.
The fights that couples have, besides like the miscommunication, is 1,000 times out of 1,000, like probably having to do with money.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that was so difficult for Will and I, and we were pretty open about it. For a lot of my friends who got married young, is like just setting your expectations of like how you are going to spend money. And it's so different for two people because of how they were brought up, and
Mhm.
and the things that impact your life and how you make decisions and how you were taught,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
So getting on the same page about this is important. You don't have to be like militant and you don't have to agree about everything, but you have to at least come to a compromise of like, this is what I want.
I think the way to go about it here is to be so transparent that she can't possibly think anything else, right? So it's like, okay, so if we want to get the $50,000 ring, I don't even know if that's 3 to 4 carat, but just some large number that's going to be significant, or $100,000 ring. Open up the books and be like, here's what I make. Here's what you make. Here's what we're spending on. Here's where we live. Here's our plan. Here's what we have at the end of the month. Here's where financing this ring is going to cut into X number of dollars a
Right.
month. And guess what that means? we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't go here.
Plus the
Like
cost that people don't think about, which is insuring it.
all, yes, absolutely. So like literally open it up and be like, if I do this, which I can do, but here's what's going to happen. Here's where our wedding goes differently. Here's where our vacations go differently. Here's where our house goes differently. So why don't we go this route? Spend whatever on the ring, $100,000 minus X. And then 10 years down the line, I'll up that sucker into a big old band or whatever it might be.
Right.
So you can always go back to the ring and upgrade,
Yeah.
throw some diamonds on that and dance. But being hyper transparent, and if her response is just like go make more money, then that's not your wife. That's something else.
A dependent.
Yeah, like
I mean, I think that's a really to me this is just screaming that she's immature.
sure. Yeah.
Like I think the more you actually start, to me it's like you're not ready for a marriage if you can't think about the things
She's
that you're ready
blinded
for
by a
a
ring.
wedding. Like you're ready for the attention. And I do think that this is an easy trap to fall into, especially when your friends are getting engaged or people are getting engaged and they're getting 3-carat diamonds and you think that is something that's normal. I can't even fathom. I remember like showing Will stuff and him being like, all right, like,
Yeah.
dumb.
Imagine.
And I am so glad that we went the way. In part, I mean, we also got a family diamond out of it, so
Sure.
that helped a lot. But like, I think he could have afforded it too. Like he could have done it, and then we would have regretted it. 'Cause like we took all these like cool trips and we did all these things that I would have never been able to do. And the same thing goes for like the money we were going to spend on a wedding that we could have done. And then we were like, we started parsing it out and I was like, oh, this is going to get really expensive really fast. Maybe that's not worth it. So laying it out and kind of letting her stew on it and being like, listen, if it really matters to you what other people think and like having a big diamond, like maybe we go lab diamond.
Yeah. Fill a sucker up. Let's go 6 for lab.
Yeah.
Like,
Here's the thing about lab diamonds. Okay. Have a fucking lab diamond. I love
why
it.
not?
Like,
Yeah.
It's conflict free. You can have a giant ass rock, but there's a lot of connotations that come with having a giant ass rock on your finger. Like, I think if I was parading around work with a 4-carat diamond on my finger, people would be like, are you serious right now? Like, that also sets off this entire stereotype of like, where did their money come from? Is that from mom and dad? Like, the people that got engaged when I was that age, like young, who had giant rings, I'm like, okay, well, you didn't pay for that. Like, your parents paid for that.
Sure.
Are you kidding me? So, like, let's set our expectations to a normal level, but also think about all the connotations that like come along with like having a 4-carat diamond. Like,
Yeah. Like
you want to get mugged because you have a fucking giant ass ring on your finger? Would you rather have a giant ass ring on your finger than like take a ball and trip to like Tahiti for our
I was
honeymoon?
going to say Tahiti too.
Like that matters more to me.
Yeah. Totally agree.
But at the time when I was like gonna get engaged, I was sending pictures of Will of like literal 4-carat diamonds. He was like, what are you talking about?
Look at this rock.
Because in my mind, you're just like, you don't put all of the pieces together
Of
until
course.
because you're not the one paying for it.
Mhm.
And then when you sit down and you really realize like, oh, okay, well, you're going to spend this much a month and we have to insure this shit. And who knows? I mean,
yeah. I mean, there's a lot that goes in it. I just can't imagine being so.
y'all, if you want a gaudy ass diamond, get a lab diamond. Who
Just
cares?
imagine being so like
But
jaded
man,
by the power of a ring that
yeah,
you change into a different person and then have to go on a journey to like destroy it. And
I-
it's
I think that like what you said
It's a-
earlier
it's a-
about like it's how you're raised and stuff. Like if I had a girl and then she says the ring is a forever, shows how much I love her and like that I need to make more money, like that it's like, oh wait, hold on. So how much money I make is dependent on how much I love you is
And
just
one
something
would-
that I would be like, that's a major red
One
flag.
would argue like you love her more for thinking ahead of time. Like
yeah.
Will looking at the 4-carat diamond I sent him on Pinterest and being like, no, did more for me and his love for me than me getting a 4-carat diamond. Because again, like we said, money, objects are all fleeting. After 2 days, she's not going to give a shit. I mean, she is going to give a shit about the diamond on her finger, but like that is going to propel into, well, what band did you get me for our wedding? Is it a eternity band with giant diamonds? Like,
Yeah.
what is it? Like,
And once
want equals want equals want. Like, none of this truly brings you fulfilling, lasting happiness.
once she gets her Instagram likes out of the post, and once her friends see it at brunch, and like, all right, what's next? That's it.
Yeah, I looked it up for people that aren't, because I wasn't really sure. I'm not finding many natural 3-carat diamond rings under 20 grand.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
I mean,
no,
we're
this
talking-
is
yeah,
this is a $50,000 ring
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
And
is
at the bare minimum.
it's a
And,
car.
it's a car.
Also,
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm going to say this about lab diamonds. I have no problem with lab diamonds. If you have a lab diamond, awesome. Do I think you need to tell people you have a lab diamond? Also, no. It's
Mhm.
not anybody's business. I could literally give a shit. I think going around and parading a giant ass ring and then
Parading.
pretending that it's not a lab diamond if you have one is a little sus. But again,
Mhm.
everyone's business is their own. I could care less. At this point, again, this is so the age limit that they're in right now. They're in their mid-20s. I guarantee you.
No, 30s.
They said
Oh,
30.
she said
they're in
30s?
their That's why I was, when you said immature, I was like, yeah,
Mm.
for being this immature in your 30s.
Maybe
though?
in your 30s still, but like this is that stage where you're just comparing all
Oh,
around. Because let me just say that
absolutely.
now that we've been married 5 years, like I don't even bat an eye at someone else's ring unless it's like straight up the Kim Kardashian giant Titanic diamond that she had on her finger that she got stolen
I
off of
think
her finger.
sometimes I think rings are about, like, for me, like my beauty sense of them is like how they look on your finger, and how they like how the diamonds look together or singular. Like, not the bigger it's almost like seeing super fake like lip or
Yeah.
injection. Like, it's just there's something that's super gaudy, and you're just like, yeah, just the gilded kind of too
Yeah.
much.
But it's nice. Like,
But
I'm
it's
seeing
not
at a
natural.
bar. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to go hit on her. She's
So
taken.
just a giant stop sign.
It is.
Don't come up to me.
You want to do the last one?
Yeah. This question was really confusing to me, by the way. So you're going to have to
Okay.
like, hey, my lease is coming to an end soon. My girlfriend and I have been living together for about a year. We have been living in a 1-bedroom apartment and want something bigger in downtown Charlotte. My girlfriend's brother, sister-in-law, and nephew have been living at their mother's house with her for approximately 5 years. Okay, so the girlfriend's brother is living at his mother-in-law's house.
with her
For-
family.
with the mom. Yeah.
Right. They're moving out this summer on their own. Her mother can't keep up the home by herself. We are talking about us moving in with her because they don't want to lose the houses. My girlfriend will have to help with bills, even though we don't live there and wouldn't be able to afford sharing rent anymore. This will add half an hour each way to my commute. Would it be more cost efficient? The house is large and very nice. I love living downtown, but do not spend much time out as we used to. I'm not sure what to do. List of pros and cons. The idea of living with my future mother-in-law does not sound appealing, but if I don't, the time my girlfriend and I spend together will decrease substantially.
This guy is in a pickle, right? Where his
Oh, okay. Sorry. The girlfriend's brother is living at his mom's house. So he's
her mom's. Yeah. So this guy has a girlfriend. This girlfriend's
living at their mother's house, the girlfriend and the brother's mother.
correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The brother's moving out.
Him and his family are moving out.
So now they're talking about moving in with it, taking
With-
their place.
Taking their place.
Because
exactly.
the mother needs help
Yes.
maintain the house and all that.
And they don't want to sell the house for XYZ reason, which is unknown.
Okay.
If they do move in, then they save money, they spend time together, but they lose like the downtown Charlotte and the independence and the privacy and all that. They also are just boyfriend girlfriend, so it's not like married moving in with a mother-in-law. And he's in a pickle. What it seems like is his girlfriend is very keen on doing this, and he would like to stay in a place by themselves.
Yeah. I am team stay in the place by yourself.
I think so. At this point in their lives, not married, not engaged,
Don't have a child.
don't have a child. I think if I'm in your shoes, I want to stay independent and not move in with my potential future mother-in-law,
Correct.
especially when I'm not like legally obligated to.
Right.
Understand the dilemma, understand that she wants to, understand that her mom, needs help. So my brain immediately goes to like, what's the compromise? Do you move like 15 minutes away so you're a little bit out of downtown, closer to her, so you can get there if you need to help, and you can also save a little bit of money by being out of downtown, and so you can help more with her bills, or her girlfriend can help more with your bills, so it kind of nets out evenly. But I don't. This is tough, and it comes down to like, how adamant is your girlfriend about moving in? Is this like she's doing this with or without you? And then what sort of timeline does that set? Is the family that's currently there, are they going to chip in at all on the back end, back to the mom's house? There's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
information I need to make a better call on this.
It sounds like financially it doesn't matter because
The girlfriend's going to have to help with the bills regardless.
Either way, yes.
She's going to help regardless. And if they continue to live in their current place or like re-sign their lease, she's now
going to be putting her money towards the mom's
correct.
house.
She's going to stop paying rent towards this place, put that money towards mom's place.
Yeah, I guess only the cheaper option is that you move in with the mother as well. Otherwise, you're paying for majority rent downtown.
So maybe it comes down to if you truly see yourself like marrying this girl, maybe you do it with the idea that it's not forever.
Yeah, but then who takes over paying for the mom's house?
You like that's your house now, so you pay for it.
Yeah,
with your girlfriend, with the mom.
I don't love a lot of this.
I agree. I totally agree.
Here's my question. This was not implicitly stated
Okay.
at any point in time, but do we need to make this our problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, that sounds callous.
I think the girlfriend has made up her mind in that scenario where it's her. She's made it her problem. And good luck convincing her otherwise.
Right. All I'm going to say about that, and this may be fully unsolicited and not helping with answering the question at all, but as someone who is a not even reformed, people pleaser, and was very much in a position of like doing whatever my family members asked of me at all times at the expense of my relationship. Maybe this is a conversation that, like, if there is anything there, needs to be had. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that.
Just because, and I also am not trying to be insensitive to the fact that, like, the mom needs help.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
But, like, is it actually a situation where, like, they just don't want to sell the house? And so everyone's just, like, going along with what the mom wants? Or is this, like, a true, like, the mom needs assistance, let's help mom out?
Yeah,
Like,
I hear you.
There's two different parties here. So, like, one to me is, like, I can't really gauge how he feels about the possible future mother-in-law and, like, what's going on there. And if this is a situation he does need to involve himself in or not.
How independent can she be? Is it, like, truly, like, every day?
Because, and I'm not saying, like, abandon your family either. Like,
No.
absolutely help out future mother-in-law if needed, like, and your girlfriend if that's what's needed and what's wanted. But if you're, like, kind of getting bullied into this because she had this set up with her son and now they're leaving and now you have to, I just personally don't want to live with my in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
I think Will would feel the same way. Like, it would maybe be a little different with kids, like if the mom can help, but like that's a real relationship killer in my opinion.
It's also a step, like, hey, if there's like sort of a timeline on this, like, can we sell the house in the next 5 years? Or
Right.
like, or is it like mom's staying there till mom's gone?
Yeah.
And that's adamant.
Right.
Is it one of those things? Is it, they said they want something bigger in downtown Charlotte,
which he can't afford without probably
her
the girlfriend's help. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think you say bite the bullet. I'm going to pay for something bigger, and we're going to live here. You can go help your mom when you need to, because I think that's going to just lead to resentment, and financially won't be perfect. So maybe take that option out and find either the compromise or go into this
with a finite
with
timeline.
a finite timeline. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
I don't know. The thing is,
not being engaged, and if there's any doubt there, like
it's not even about the doubt. It's like being young. And this is gonna come from like a place of like extreme privilege, but like obviously there are people whose like family rely on them. So I don't want to discount if that's what's going on here, but like you're in a relationship where you're young, you're not married yet, you haven't like gotten bogged down with like the weight of marriage and kids, et cetera, et cetera. Like, do we want to add a bunch of stuff to that we don't need to? Like,
yeah.
And I feel like that sounds really selfish of me, but like, I just wouldn't recommend living with your in-laws if you can avoid it. I think that really stunts a relationship.
Yeah, I can see how it certainly does. My only thing would be if you do, and it's open-ended, I can see how that gets pretty not bleak, like that's obviously the wrong word, but just like very, all right, this is our routine. We are caretakers. We are basically children again in a household.
Yeah.
Versus, okay, we're gonna do this, for a year or 2 years, and then maybe we have a different view on selling the house or putting mom in a different situation, or moving in to something smaller and she's next door or in a guest suite or something like that.
Right.
There's options.
See,
I don't know what you do in the immediate term.
If this is me, I'm breaking down this. It sounds like the mother needs assistance regardless. If it's like a medical thing or something, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's just financial, but I'm definitely for sure not moving with the in-law. But
you're letting like the girlfriend move in with her mom.
I'm either saying like, if it's like a thing that they need actual assistance, maybe look into hiring a live-in assistant. If that's not feasible, I'm saying then like, yes, you can live with her and then we'll move. And I'm giving up on this something bigger in downtown Charlotte.
Oh, I think that's gone.
Like definitely I'll do something small. We can do that. I get like not being able to see your girlfriend as much, but like your mother-in-law needs help. To tell your girlfriend that she's not going to get the help because you don't want to live with her is a relationship ender to me. So I wouldn't move in. I'd make sure the mother has help if that is your girlfriend living with them and there's the finite timeline. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. For me, the biggest thing is timeline. If this is super open-ended, I don't do it. If this has a little bit more of a finite taste to it, then bite the bullets, Ron. I've lived with parents of girlfriends for a while and had a blast, but it is different if it's sort of a dependent thing versus a fun thing.
Yeah.
Let us know what you decide. Or if you have more information that we can chew on.
Yeah, this was hard for me because I think it's hard for me to like tell what the actual
is it totally dependent? Because then it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
And then you need
also like how close are you to like marrying this girl?
Popping cues, yeah. Getting on the knee,
I don't know.
so to speak.
That was not my favorite question to answer. Sorry.
I did it. Let us know, though. That's going to do it anyway for us on the Mail-In Podcast. For this episode, happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. Happy 1-year anniversary.
Happy Salentines.
Wow.
I don't even know what we're doing for Valentine's Day.
What are you doing for Valentine's Day?
You and I are going to a stoplight party at someplace.
Are we?
No, but I've been getting targeted at least 2 different events in Austin for these stoplight parties. I'm like, man, the algorithm knows I'm single.
Well, you let me know how it goes.
I don't think I'm.
Y'all can come over to our house on Valentine's Day if you want. We're gonna have a candlelit dinner with Fritz.
Have a kickback. You guys, all I've heard the last couple of weeks is that the deFrieses are looking to host some kickbacks.
We hosted freaking good kickback on Friday. Made pizzas.
Hey, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, sick.
It was just one other couple.
Okay. Well.
Will got absolutely sloshed on scotch.
Let's ride.
Yeah.
Sounds like a blast. Would love to be invited to the next
Y'all are welcome to come over
kickback.
for Valentine's Day kickback.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.